Welcome back to Embrace the Journey podcast. My name is Ian Nottage. I am your host today, and we have a really good topic. I will be posting going forward these podcast episodes as videos, and you're gonna see I have a whiteboard here, so you can still listen to it if you're on Spotify or whatever. Because everything I write on the board, I'm going to talk about. So I'll talking and then write on the board. So don't worry about it. But welcome back if you're a recurring one. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Today's topic is going to be a really good one. We are going to talk, and I bring this up because I had a conversation with one of my clients the other night, and she was just brought this up, and I was like, this is a really good topic to talk about because it's not even just her. It's just like a lot of people I message, and I get this message a lot, and I think it really deters people from seeing the fastest weight loss progress they can. Okay, so it's like one lie that you keep telling yourself that's kind of either A, limiting you or holding you back from doing the next step, or B, it's causing you to just like derail completely. And that is you keep telling yourself you're not seeing progress fast enough. Anyone ever do that? I've done it. Okay, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, maybe I should change something, maybe I should do this. And let me tell a story, and then I want to go over things that you need to know about fitness and like just another analogy. So my client called me. She's like, she's losing 1 pound per week. And she's been doing that for the last like 12 weeks. She's down like almost like 12 pounds now. And she's like, I feel like I'm just not losing weight fast enough. I've seen other people lose weight faster. I thought I would be at a lower weigh-in, whatever, right? So I asked her, why do you think you should be seeing faster progress, and how are we measuring that? She says, well, last year I was losing sometimes like 5 to 7 pounds in a week. I go, okay, so that's a good thing. Let me ask you one more question. This year, did you start at a higher weigh-in than last year or a lower weigh-in? And she goes, well, I put on like 40 or 50 pounds or whatever it was. And I go, okay, so yes, you could lose 5 to 7 pounds in a week back then. Now you're losing a pound per week. It's slower if we're just looking at that measurement. But if every year you're starting at a higher weigh-in, can we assume that losing 5 to 7 pounds per week is not the fastest progress possible? Because yeah, you might lose 5 to 7 pounds in that 1 week, but at the end of the year, you still put on weight. So it's getting you further away from your goals, and it's getting you further away from what you desire. So we could then just assume that's not the fastest progress possible, because you could be seeing faster progress by having a more sustained approach, right? So I went through it, made some adjustments. It's going to go great. Okay. Now, why do people do this? And I think in order to understand why do people constantly say this, we have to understand what goes into fitness. Okay. And the knowledge needed. Is a doctor going to know more than you? And so if a doctor knows more than you, they could probably progress in other areas in life faster than you, right? Okay. Now, so there are people out there, we can agree that there are people out there that can see progress faster than you. But why is that? It's because they have more knowledge. They've been doing it longer, okay? If you want to see the fastest possible progress, it's all capped by how much knowledge you have. And I would say even like consistency. Because if you're just starting out, trying to lose weight, getting back on the track, whatever it is, you cannot compare yourself to someone who's been doing it for a decade consistently. Because it would be like going to college, and first year into college, you expect to graduate with your doctorates or learn everything that they compile on within 8 years in 1 year. That's not possible. So you have this unrealistic expectation because someone else or someone far more advanced than you can see faster progress because they put in more time than you have to learn these things. So when it comes down to this I'm not seeing the fastest progress possible, it's actually the lack of knowledge. So if we focus on how can we obtain more knowledge faster, then it'll just kind of snowball effect, and you'll start seeing more consistent progress. And that's why slower, more consistent weight loss per week, like a pound to 2 pounds per week, is going to take you much further long term, because if you're doing it you're going to learn a lot of healthy habits along the way, and you're going to have that balance. So every year you're losing 50 pounds or however much you want to lose every single year, and you're keeping it off, and you keep stacking it. So by year, 5 to 10, you're freaking crushing it. You're in the best shape of your life. You're doing bodybuilding shows or high rocks races or whatever, and you went from nothing. So what do we need to learn? We need to learn how to track food. Okay. We need to learn how to hydrate and stay consistent with it. We need to learn how to be on a sleeping schedule. We need to learn how to work out. That is cardio as well. Then we need to learn how to do progressive overload. And on top of that, we also need to learn form. We also need to learn saying no to alcohol. Okay. Balance around the holidays. Okay. No eating out or cutting it back. A big one is cooking. Okay. And then anything else you can think of, right? That's going to lead you to a healthier lifestyle. Like this list could go on forever, right? Supplementation to meal timing to then learning when to how to program your programs based off of your goals, when to make adjustments, when to make calorie adjustments, take you through dieting phases. It gets more and more advanced. This is like pretty basic stuff right here. That's why I want to keep it here. But this is just like the beginning. So let's track food, hydrate, sleep, workout, cardio, progressive overload form, no alcohol, balance holidays, no eating out, and cooking. You need to learn how to cook. That's a lot of information. I mean, imagine. And it's like with cooking, subtopics is learn how to grocery shop, learn how to write meal plans, buy meal prep containers, learn how to weigh everything out and space it out evenly, right? It comes with tracking food. So when you start, you do not know all of this. Okay, what do we know about the average American? 3,500 calories per day. They get less than 15 minutes of activity per week. I'm going to assume you're listening to this, you're average. So we already have very, very poor habits that are the complete opposites of all this knowledge. Do you really think you can learn all of these things within 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks? I'll even say 4 months. It's a lot of stuff. Because let's take a look at tracking food. How do we learn tracking food? That is a daily habit, okay? Something we have to practice. Learn how to use a food scale and measuring cups. Learn how to read nutrition labels. Learn how to use a calorie tracking app so then you can be consistent with it and how to utilize the app itself. So there's a lot of subtopics. Same with hydration. That is a daily occurrence. You have to be intentional with your water intake. Sleep. That is a daily occurrence. You have to learn how to say no to staying up late and then yes to going to bed on time, okay? And the sleep can really affect everything. Workout cardio. Again, this is I would say 3 times plus per week occurrence. You have to know, you have to at least work out 3 times a week. That is a weightlifting and cardio session. Progressive overload. That is every workout, okay? Form. That is every workout. Do you really think you're going to be a master at form within 1 week of weightlifting? No. If you are, that's pretty impressive. Saying no to alcohol is in every occurrence or holiday event, or learning how to have control over that. Balance holidays all year round. No eating out. That is a consistent thing. If you like to go out to eat or date nights or whatever like that, you got to learn how to have balance around that. Like, how do I eat so good consistently so that when I go out to eat, it doesn't put me into this spiral. Cooking. This is an everyday thing. Practice cooking, meal prepping, okay? So this knowledge takes time, okay? You're not going to be perfect with tracking food right off the bat. And so I think once you really understand that the whole concept of not seeing the fastest progress is all relative to the amount of knowledge you have. And if you can just build off of this knowledge, it's going to make it much easier and to stay consistent. And so your fastest progress is limited by your capacity to know. So if you aren't seeing the fastest progress possible, it's because you don't have the knowledge to back it up. So how do you obtain that knowledge? A, invest in workout programs. B, take a look at this list, work on one thing per week. Okay, track food daily for a whole week. You'll learn a lot. Last thing is like hire a coach, right? Get on something structured, and then every week you add something. So here's an example of something I could do. I've done with my clients. We get them on a 3-day workout cardio program. I'm like, hey, 3 days workout cardio. We're really focusing on that for the next 2 weeks. I don't care about anything else, just work out. Now, after doing that about a week to 2 weeks, people typically develop habits by then, or just consistency, and they prove themselves they can do it. Then I go, okay, week number 2, I really want you to focus on hydration and tracking food. So we're going to be getting 60 ounces of water and then tracking food. So you track everything you eat. Everything. We're not going to try to hit numbers yet. We're just going to learn the habit of tracking food. Now, let's say we spend 2 weeks doing that. We find that they're having really high calorie variance days. They're not eating enough protein. I go, okay, well, the next 2 weeks, our goal now is to keep track of food, keep working out, keep hydrating. We're going to just really focus on hitting a protein goal, okay? So now we spend the next 2 weeks hitting a daily protein goal. They do it. Once they learn how to do it, they're like, oh, that's actually not too bad. Now we got that checked off. Now the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we're like, okay, well, let's increase steps. You're only getting 3,000 steps a day. Time to increase to 5,000 to 6,000. So then now, because they have been working out for so long, tracking foods for so long, hydrating for so long, adding 2,000 to 3,000 steps per day is like easy. It's not a whole bunch of things to do at once. But when you join a very complex advanced program that's way ahead of your knowledge, they're going to say, hey, I need you to do workouts 4 times a week, plus I need you to sleep 8 hours a day, plus I need you to hydrate, drink a gallon a day, plus you need to be perfect with your macros, track your protein, fats, and carbs. On top of that, I need you to send me form videos, and then on top of that, every week I'm going to tell you what to progressively overload, and then no more alcohol. You're not going to have cheat meals on the holidays. You're not going to eat out anymore, and you got to meal prep every single day or for 4 to 5 days at a week time, and you don't even know how to cook food. And they're say, if you're not doing that within 1 week, you're failing. That is such an overload of information and knowledge that you would literally just give up after the first week to 2 weeks. Like, I don't even think, if I was new, I wouldn't even be able to handle that. My knowledge has developed over time, running different programs, focusing on different things, and then the longer I can do that and add something, the bigger my plate gets that I can add more things on, and it doesn't feel stressful. That's it. Okay? So remember, when it comes to saying I'm not seeing the fastest progress, it's a knowledge thing, and you need to figure out where are you lacking knowledge that's making you feel this way, and then you work on that one thing. Remember, guys, embrace the journey. Peace.